Arsenal's 2025-26 season has reached a crucial and fascinating stage, with Mikel Arteta's side firmly establishing themselves as genuine contenders across multiple competitions, while navigating injuries, rotation, and the pressure that comes with leading from the front. In the Premier League, Arsenal sit at the top of the table after delivering a statement 4-0 victory away at Leeds United, a result that not only ended a brief winless run but also underlined the squad's resilience and depth, as goals from across the team and a dominant all-round performance restored momentum and extended their advantage over rivals. That win was made even more impressive by late disruption, with Bukayo Saka forced out during the warm-up due to injury, a reminder of the fitness challenges Arsenal have faced throughout the campaign, having lost significant time to injuries among key players. Despite these setbacks, Arteta has leaned heavily on rotation and tactical flexibility, trusting squad players and young talents to step up, a strategy that has largely paid off as Arsenal continue to balance domestic and European commitments. In cup competitions, Arsenal remain active, pushing forward in the Carabao Cup with a semi-final second leg looming, and maintaining focus in the Champions League, where fixture congestion and intensity test both physical conditioning and mental sharpness. The January transfer window added another layer of intrigue, with Arsenal carefully weighing short-term reinforcements against long-term planning, monitoring opportunities created by injuries while staying disciplined in their recruitment strategy, which continues to emphasize versatility, technical quality, and future value rather than panic buys. Off the pitch, contract talks and squad planning reflect the club's desire for stability, ensuring that core players remain tied to the project while younger prospects are integrated gradually. Adding to the club's positive narrative, Arsenal women have enjoyed an outstanding run, reaching a major international final and reinforcing Arsenal's reputation as a club competing at the highest level across both the men's and women's games. Overall, Arsenal find themselves in a position of strength, but not comfort, leading the league, competing on multiple fronts and playing with growing maturity, yet fully aware that injuries, fixture pressure, and the fine margins of elite football will define whether this promising season ends in silverware or frustration, making the weeks ahead some of the most decisive and compelling in the club's recent history. Bukayo Saka suffered an injury setback just before Arsenal's recent Premier League match against Leeds United after pulling up during the pre-match warm-up. He was originally named in the starting 11 and set to play a key role, but discomfort forced him to withdraw at the last moment, prompting Mikel Arteta and the medical staff to take a precautionary decision. The issue has been described by the manager as a minor problem, believed to be around the hip or groin area. But the fact that it occurred so close to kickoff immediately raised concern given Saka's importance to the team and his recent workload. At this stage, Arsenal have not confirmed a clear timeline for his return, with the club opting to carry out further assessments before making any definitive statements. While early indications suggest the injury may not be serious, Arsenal are expected to manage Saka carefully, especially with crucial league and cup fixtures approaching, as Arteta looks to avoid turning a small problem into a longer-term absence for one of the club's most influential players. Victor Gyokeres' situation at Arsenal has become one of the most closely watched storylines of the 2025-26 season, reflecting both the club's ambition and the fine margins that define elite football. Signed to add physical presence, directness, and a ruthless edge in front of goal, Gyokeres arrived with a reputation built on explosive performances and relentless scoring, particularly during his time at Sporting CP. Arsenal believed his profile matched the next phase of Mikel Arteta's project, a striker capable of leading the line in big matches, bullying defenders, pressing aggressively from the front, and converting half chances in tight games. As the season has progressed, Gyokeres' role has evolved, shaped by tactical demands, competition for places, and the broader rhythm of a team fighting on multiple fronts. From the outset, Gyokeres was never expected to be a simple plug-and-play solution. Arsenal's attacking structure is complex, built around positional discipline, fluid rotations, and intelligent movement, rather than pure counter-attacking football. Adjusting to this system has required Gyokeres to refine aspects of his game, particularly his link-up play, timing of runs, and pressing triggers. Early performances showed flashes of why Arsenal invested heavily in him. powerful carries through the middle, the ability to pin defenders, and a willingness to take responsibility in physical duels. However, consistency proved harder to establish, especially in a league as unforgiving as the Premier League, where defensive intensity and tactical preparation are relentless. Gyokeres' season has been shaped not only by adaptation, but also by interruptions. A hamstring issue earlier in the campaign disrupted his momentum, forcing him to miss games at a crucial period when Arsenal were rotating heavily across competitions. While he returned to fitness without long-term complications, the injury slowed his rhythm and limited his opportunities to build sustained form. In a squad where competition is fierce and margins are slim, any absence can have consequences, and Gyokeres found himself needing to reassert his value once fully fit again. Arteta, however, remained patient, emphasizing that integration and long-term contribution mattered more than short-term headlines. One of the defining moments of Gyokeres' Arsenal spell so far came in the emphatic 4-0 win away at Leeds United. In a match that demanded authority and composure, Gyokeres delivered with a goal that showcased his strengths: intelligent positioning, physical dominance, and a calm finish under pressure. That performance served as a reminder of what Arsenal see in him, and why he remains an important part of their title push. It also reinforced the idea that Gyokeres thrives when Arsenal play with tempo and intent, allowing him to attack space and impose himself on defenders rather than operate in static situations. Despite these high points, Gyokeres' overall numbers have not yet matched the prolific standards he set before arriving in England. This has inevitably led to debate among supporters and pundits about his role, his ceiling within Arteta's system, and whether Arsenal's attacking output would benefit more from alternative profiles in certain matches. Such discussions are part of life at a club competing for the biggest trophies, and Gyokeres has had to navigate them while continuing to adapt on the pitch. Importantly, the coaching staff's internal assessment has remained more nuanced, focusing on his off-ball work, pressing efficiency, and contribution to the team's structure rather than goals alone. Tactically, Gyokeres offers Arsenal something different from their other attacking options. His ability to occupy center-backs creates space for wide players and attacking midfielders, an aspect that becomes especially valuable when Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, or Martin Ødegaard look to exploit half spaces. In matches where Arsenal face deep defensive blocks, Gyokeres' presence can stretch the opposition vertically, even when he is not directly involved in the final action. Arteta has repeatedly stressed the importance of these less visible contributions, particularly in a system designed to control games through sustained pressure. Competition in Arsenal's forward line has also influenced Gyokeres' minutes and rhythm. With Gabriel Jesus offering mobility and pressing intelligence, Kai Havertz providing tactical versatility, and younger players pushing for opportunities, selection decisions have often been shaped by specific game plans rather than a fixed hierarchy. This has meant that Gyokeres has sometimes been used as a starter in physically demanding matches and as an impact substitute in others. While this rotation can be frustrating for any striker seeking consistency, it reflects Arsenal's broader approach to squad management in a season packed with high-stakes fixtures. Off the pitch, Gyokeres has maintained a professional and focused demeanor, aware that his long-term success at Arsenal depends on patience and continuous improvement. Training reports have consistently highlighted his work ethic and willingness to engage with tactical instruction, qualities that align closely with Arteta's demands. Within the dressing room, he is viewed as a committed figure who understands the collective nature of Arsenal's ambitions, even as he strives to establish himself as a regular match winner. Looking ahead, Gyokeres' importance could increase significantly as Arsenal enter the decisive phase of the season. Injuries to key players, fixture congestion, and the physical toll of competing on multiple fronts all increase the value of a striker capable of delivering in high-pressure moments. Arsenal's title challenge will likely hinge on fine margins, and goals from unexpected sources often prove decisive in such races. Gyokeres' ability to produce decisive contributions, whether as a starter or from the bench, may therefore play a crucial role in determining how the season is ultimately remembered. Arsenal's transfer activity during the current window reflects a club operating with clarity, ambition, and restraint. shaped by lessons learned over recent seasons and driven by the desire to finally convert sustained progress into major silverware. Sitting at the top end of the Premier League table and competing across multiple fronts, Arsenal have entered the transfer market not from desperation but from calculation, seeking targeted improvements that protect the balance of the squad while responding to injuries, fixture congestion, and the unforgiving demands of elite competition. Mikel Arteta, supported closely by the club's sporting structure, has been clear that any movement in or out of the squad must align with Arsenal's long-term project rather than short-term panic, a philosophy that has defined their approach throughout the window. One of the most consistent themes surrounding Arsenal's transfer business has been the focus on squad depth rather than headline signings. With injuries affecting key players at various points of the season, including Bukayo Saka and others in midfield and defense, Arsenal's recruitment team has prioritized flexibility and reliability. Rather than chasing superstar names at inflated prices, the club has monitored players who can step in seamlessly, understand positional discipline, and contribute immediately without disrupting the existing hierarchy. This approach reflects Arteta's belief that titles are often decided by the strength of the squad players rather than the brilliance of the starting 11 alone. In attack, Arsenal's situation has been closely scrutinized. Victor Gyokeres' arrival earlier in the season was designed to add physicality, presence, and a different dimension to Arsenal's forward line. And while his adaptation continues, the club has not rushed to bring in additional strikers unless the right opportunity presents itself. Internally, there is confidence that the current attacking options, when fit, offer enough variety to handle different tactical challenges. That said, Arsenal have kept a close eye on the market for versatile forwards who can operate across the front line, particularly players comfortable drifting wide or dropping deep, as Arteta values fluid movement over fixed roles. Midfield remains one of the most strategically important areas of Arsenal's transfer planning. The club's recent investments in technical control and positional intelligence have transformed how Arsenal dominate games, but injuries and workload management have highlighted the need for additional depth. Arsenal's recruitment staff have explored options that combine defensive awareness with progressive passing, targeting midfielders capable of playing both as controllers and as dynamic box-to-box contributors. The emphasis has been on players who can handle the Premier League's intensity, while also offering composure in European competition, a balance that is increasingly difficult to find but essential for Arsenal's ambitions. Defensively, Arsenal's transfer strategy has revolved around maintaining stability while preparing for the future. With a strong core already in place, the club has resisted the temptation to overhaul the backline, instead focusing on ensuring adequate cover across all positions. Versatility has been a key factor, with interest shown in defenders who can operate both centrally and wide, allowing Arteta to rotate without compromising structure. Arsenal's defensive record this season has underlined the success of this approach, but the club remains aware that injuries or suspensions during the business end of the campaign could quickly expose a lack of depth. Outgoings have been just as important as incomings in shaping Arsenal's transfer window. The club has worked quietly to move fringe players and manage loan situations in a way that benefits both the squad and the players' development. Rather than allowing unused players to stagnate, Arsenal have prioritized finding competitive environments where young or peripheral players can gain regular minutes. This strategy not only protects squad harmony but also preserves asset value, ensuring that Arsenal remain financially flexible for future windows. A notable feature of Arsenal's transfer dealings has been the discipline shown in negotiations. Unlike previous eras where urgency led to inflated fees or unsuitable signings, the current leadership has demonstrated a willingness to walk away if valuations do not align with internal assessments. This stance has earned Arsenal respect within the market and has helped avoid the kind of deals that can burden a squad long-term. While this approach can frustrate supporters eager for instant reinforcement, it reflects a mature understanding of squad building at the highest level. Loan deals have played a subtle but significant role in Arsenal's transfer strategy. Short-term loans, particularly for experienced players capable of covering specific roles, have been considered as a way to manage injury risks without committing to permanent deals. This flexibility allows Arsenal to adapt to unforeseen circumstances while keeping future windows open for more decisive moves. At the same time, outgoing loans for young players remain central to Arsenal's development pathway, reinforcing the club's reputation as a destination where talent can grow rather than stagnate. Behind the scenes, contract management has been treated as an extension of transfer business. Securing key players on long-term deals has been viewed as equally important as bringing in new faces, ensuring continuity and protecting the core of the squad from external interest. Arsenal's leadership understands that retaining top talent is often more challenging than recruitment, and efforts to reinforce commitment within the squad have quietly shaped the club's overall transfer posture. The wider market context has also influenced Arsenal's decisions. With financial regulations tightening and many clubs operating under constraints, Arsenal have recognized opportunities to act decisively when rivals hesitate. At the same time, inflated asking prices in January have reinforced the club's preference for patience, with the summer window seen as a more realistic opportunity for major moves if required. This long-view approach has been communicated clearly by Arteta, who has repeatedly emphasized that success is built over seasons, not windows. As the window progresses, Arsenal's transfer updates continue to reflect a club in control of its direction. Every potential move is assessed not only on immediate impact, but also on how it fits into the tactical, cultural, and financial framework that has been carefully constructed over recent years. This coherence is perhaps the most significant development in Arsenal's transfer behavior, marking a clear departure from the reactive strategies of the past.